Hello everyone, welcome to today's mathematics class from CREST YouTube channel. In this session, we will begin an exciting chapter called straight lines from grade 11. Straight line is one of the most fundamental concepts in geometry and in coordinate geometry. It plays a key role in almost every branch of mathematics. So let's start. In this chapter, we are mainly focusing on the topics called what is the slope of a line, which are the various forms of the equation of a line, and what is the distance of a point from a line. Fine. Okay. And you all know what is a straight line. It is defined as the line traced by a point traveling in a constant direction with zero curvature. So we know that it have no curvature, and we can also find the shortest distance between 2 points. Before moving to the first topic, we have to remember some points. What is a distance formula? You already studied in lower classes. If I have a point P x1, y1 and another point Q x2, y2, what is the distance between these 2 points PQ? PQ can be defined as square root of x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. Next one, what is a section formula? This is also you have studied in lower class. Section formula says that if I have a point P x1, y1 and I have another point called Q x2, y2, I want to find a coordinate R. This R is the internal division between P and Q, and we know only the ratio m is to n. It cuts in the ratio m is to n. Then what will be your R? It is the x coordinate will be mx2 plus nx1 divided by m plus n, and the y coordinate will be my2 plus ny1 divided by m plus n. This is in this case R is an internal division. When you are finding, we have a point P x1, y1 and we have point Q x2, y2, and we have a point on R on the external. So on the outside of the line, this point, outside of this point, so what is this coordinate? And the ratio we given from P to Q, P to R is m and P to Q is n. Then the equation become mx2 minus nx1 divided by m minus n. That's your x coordinate, and the y coordinate will be my2 minus ny1 divided by m minus n. So section formula, internally we can have this equation, externally we can have this equation. Now what is midpoint formula? Midpoint formula also we can derive from this section formula. We have x1, y1 and we have q x2, y2. Midpoint means this r coordinate will be exactly cutting 1:1 ratio. So midpoint formula you all know, it is x1 plus x2 divided by 2 and y1 plus y2 divided by 2 is the y coordinate. Because the ratio is 1:1. You can apply this 1:1 m:n in the previous equation, you will get this midpoint formula. Fine. Now, how can you find area of triangle when whose vertices are given? So if we have a triangle with vertices A x1 y1, B x2 y2 and C x3 y3. To find area of triangle, you studied in previous classes, area equal to 1 by 2 into x1 into y2 minus y3 plus x2 into y3 minus y1 plus x3 into y1 minus y2. And it is very easy to remember. You can look on the order 1, 2, 3. Then again starting from x2 we have 2, 3, 1. Then from 3 again from 1, 2. Okay. And what are called collinear points? When you say two or three or more points are collinear, we can say that if I have a point here P x1 y1, I have another point Q x2 y2, and I have another point called R x3 y3. When you join these points, you will get a straight line. So this P, Q, R are called collinear points. The points lie on a line is called collinear points. If the points are not lying on a line, suppose the points, one point will be here, another will be here, you will get a triangle. This is not a collinear point in case of 3 points. In this case, if your points lies on the same line, we can say that the points are collinear points. And mostly we know that a line cannot contain area. If the area is 0, we can say that the 3 points are on a line. So we can start our first topic. What is the slope of a line? What is the slope of a line? How can you find slope of a line? And we have an x-axis and y-axis. This is x dash. This axis is y dash. And this is our origin. Suppose we have a line called L, and this line L is making an angle theta with positive direction of x-axis in an anti-clockwise direction. How can you find the slope of this line? In equation we have m equal to, slope can be denoted by the letter m equal to tan theta. The condition is the line makes a positive direction with x-axis in an anti-clockwise direction. So we can find the slope of this line m equal to tan theta. And if a line is parallel to x-axis, if the line is, suppose this blue line we have a parallel to x-axis, then what is its slope? So we can say there is no angle is theta is 0. We can say that slope of line parallel to x-axis, then slope m equal to tan, the angle is 0. We know that tan 0 is always 0. So there is no slope m equal to 0. So when a slope is 0 means what? We have a line which is parallel to x-axis, or it is on x-axis. And we have another line, a line which is parallel to y-axis. What is the slope of this red line? Equation is same, m equal to, we know that x-axis and y-axis makes a 90 degree. So angle is m equal to tan 90, and we know tan 90 is undefined. We will get m is equal to slope is undefined. So when slope is undefined, what you can think? The line is a vertical line, that is, which is parallel to y-axis or perpendicular to x-axis. This is the definition. We have already discussed it. And by using the equation of m equal to tan theta, we have a question, find the slope of the line making an inclination of 60 degree with the positive direction of x. It is given, clearly given, the angle making line with positive direction of x-axis, and angle is 60 degree. So we can find equation m equal to tan theta. So here theta is given as 60 degree. So m will be tan 60. And what is the value of tan 60? Tan 60 is root 3. So we will get m equal to root 3. This is the slope of the line. Fine. Moving to the next question. Here to find the slope of the line which makes an angle of 30 degree with the positive direction of y-axis. So this is very important question. Angle is making angle with positive direction of not with the x-axis, with the y-axis. So when you draw the line, you can say that we can have a line called L, yes, and it makes an angle 30 degree with y-axis, not with x-axis. In this case, how can you find the slope of this line L? Here we can surely say that the angle with this, we know it is 90 degree. So the angle with the line make angle with x-axis is 90 plus 30, that is 120 degree. So now we can apply the equation m equal to tan theta is here 120 because 90 plus 30, because we are taking the angle with x-axis, not the y-axis. So it becomes m equal to tan 90 plus 30 is 120, tan 120 degree. And how can you solve tan 120? We can write it as m equal to tan 180 minus 60. 180 minus 60 is 120, which means in trigonometry we studied that 180 minus theta, we know that tan pi minus x is equal to, pi minus x means we know that it is in second quadrant. In first quadrant, all trigonometric functions are positive. In second quadrant, sine and cosec are positive. In third quadrant, tan and cot are positive. In fourth quadrant, cos and sec are positive. So pi minus x, so we remain in the second quadrant, and tan pi minus x is minus tan x because tan is negative in the second quadrant. So this answer will become m equal, this is in the form of, this is pi, when you consider this pi, this is x, it is in the form of pi minus x, m equal to, you will get answer is minus tan 60, and we know that tan 60 is root 3, so answer should be m equal to minus root 3. Fine. Okay. Now, slope of a line when coordinates of any 2 points on the line are given. We have discussed how can you find the slope of a line if an angle is given with the positive direction of x-axis. In this case, we have to find the slope of a line with the coordinates of any 2 points on the line. Listen, the scenario is different. Suppose we have a point P x1 y1 and we have a point Q x2 y2. We have to find slope of this line, and we are not given the angle, but are we given the coordinate, 2 coordinate x1 y1 and x2 y2. In this case, how can you find the equation? For this, we know that this point, when you are drawing a perpendicular, this point is x1 comma 0. When you are drawing a perpendicular from here to here, this point is x2 comma 0. And we joined a line parallel to x-axis, and suppose we can mark this point as R. And we know that this point is y1, or we can say 0 comma y1 because it is in the y-axis. This point is y2, we can say this point, this is in y-axis, it is 0 comma y2. And this we can have a right angle triangle called PQR, a right angle triangle. And we know that we are supposed taking this is angle theta. What is m equal to? We can find that m equal to, we have the equation m equal to tan theta. M equal to tan theta. And what is tan theta? We know that it's opposite by adjacent. Opposite means it is m equal to QR, that is the opposite side, and what is the adjacent side? That is PR. And what is actually QR? QR is the distance from this point to this point. This is y2 minus y1. So you will get m equal to y2 minus y1 divided by what is PR, distance from these 2 points, that is x2 minus x1. That is the equation of finding slope if the 2 coordinates are given. This is very important. This is the equation if the coordinates of a line is given. If angle is given, we can apply m equal to tan theta. If coordinates is given, we can apply m equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Yes. Now you have to find the slope of a line passing through the points 3, minus 2 and minus 1, 4. Here we have given 2 points and you have to find the slope. The points are, we can write 3, minus 2 and q something like minus 1, 4. You have to find the slope of the line. It's very simple. We have a direct equation m equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. And is what? This is x1 y1, this is x2 y2. So what is our y2? It is 4 minus y1 is 2 divided by x2, that is minus 1 minus what is x1, that is 3. It will become 4 plus 2, it becomes 6. 6 divided by minus 4. We can further cancel it. You will get minus 3 by 2 is the slope of this line by using y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Now, what is the condition for parallelism if in terms of their slopes? That means we know that if we have 2 lines, suppose this line is L1 and this line is L2. If 2 lines L1 and L2 are parallel lines, this angle and this angle are equal. Suppose this angle is, suppose we can say alpha 1, so this will be alpha 2. This is alpha 1, this is alpha 2, because line, this L1 is alpha 1. You can give any name, no issue. So this is alpha 2. So alpha 1 is equal to alpha 2. We know that what is the slope of L1? Slope of L1, m1. We can say m1 equal to tan alpha 1. And what is the slope of m2? That is equal to tan alpha 2. Since we know that alpha 1 and alpha 2 are equal because the lines are equal, if lines are parallel, we can say that m1 equal to m2. That's the condition. If 2 lines are parallel, their slopes are equal. So you have to remember, if line L1 is parallel to line L2, what you can recognize? You can say that if lines are parallel, their slopes are equal. And also if their slopes are equal, the lines are parallel. It is like if and only if condition. If lines are parallel, slopes are equal. If slopes are equal, we can suggest that lines are parallel. Now, condition for perpendicularity in terms of their slopes. Suppose an x-axis and y-axis, and we have 2 lines. The condition is, suppose this is your first line, this is your second line, and they are perpendicular. It is given, it's clearly given that they are perpendicular. Then suppose this line is this is L1 and L1 makes an angle alpha with x-axis. This line is L2. L2 makes a beta angle with x-axis. Now from the figure we know that 90 is equal to beta minus alpha, and from here you will get beta equal to alpha plus 90. When you applying tan, you will get tan beta is equal to tan alpha. When applying tan on both sides, tan beta equal to tan alpha plus 90. Alpha plus, this is also, we know that in trigonometry, we know that 90 is there. 90 plus means we are getting in the second, we are in the second coordinate. In second coordinate, only sign is positive, and we know that tan pi by 2 means 90 plus x is always minus cot x. So here tan beta is equal to, it will be minus, is in the form of, this is pi by 2, this is x, we have minus cot alpha, and cot is the reciprocal of tan. We can again write tan beta is equal to minus 1 by tan alpha. And what is tan beta? Tan beta is the slope of L2, that is, we can say it is M2, suppose this is line L2. And what is tan alpha? Tan alpha is the slope of L1, that is M1, we can say minus 1 divided by M1. From here we can get M1, when you multiplying here, this when you multiplying M1 into this side, you will get M1 into M2 equal to minus 1. This is the condition for perpendicularity. That is, if two lines L1 is perpendicular to L2, what you can think? You can think that their slopes, product of their slopes is minus 1. If product of their slope is minus 1 if two lines are perpendicular, or if the product of slope is minus 1, we can say that lines are perpendicular. This is also an if and only if condition. Okay, if this is true, this is true. If this is right, this is also right. Okay, fine. So you have to remember the condition for parallelism and the condition for perpendicularism. Now you can read through this question, we can solve this question. We have a line through the point minus 2, 6 and 4, 8. This line is perpendicular to the line through the point 8, 12 and x, 24. You have to find the value of x. So according to the question, we have a line, we can draw a line. Yes, we can mark some point. It is, we can say that it is P minus 2, 6, we have a line, and Q 4, 8. And we have another line, yeah. And the condition is they are perpendicular. One line is perpendicular. Suppose this line is L1, we can say this line is L2. And we have point on L2 also, that is 8, 12, and we have a point here x, 24. You have to find what is the value of x. Can you find the slope of L1? We can find the slope of L1 by y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So what is actually M1? M1 means slope of the first line L1, that is y2 minus y1. y2 means 8 minus y1 is 6 divided by x2. x2 means 4 minus x1 is minus 2. So you will get 8 minus 6 is 2. 4 minus minus 2 is 4 plus 2, that is 6. You will get the answer 1 by 3. And what about the slope of L2, that is M2? What is the line slope of line L2, that is M2? We have the same equation. We can apply 24 minus 12 divided by x minus 8. Same equation, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, which is equal to 24 minus 12 is 12 divided by x minus 8. So we got a slope of two line, one is 1 by 3, other is 12 by x minus 8. And the condition is two lines are perpendicular. We know that if two lines are perpendicular, then the product of their slope is -1. That is, we get already have m1 is 1 by 3 and m2 is 12 divided by x minus 8, which is equal to -1. For the solving this, you can cancel 3 and 12 by 4 times. You will get 4 equal to minus x plus 8. That is, you will get x equal to 8 minus 4. That is, the value of x is 4. So the question, in this question we have a hint, the one line is perpendicular to other line. So you can apply this condition after finding their slopes. Now what is angle between two lines? What is angle between two lines? For this we can have an x-axis here, y-axis, x-axis and y. This is x dash x. This is y dash. Suppose I have a line like this and I have another line like this. Suppose this line is L1 and this line L1 makes an alpha 1 angle with positive direction of x-axis, and suppose this line is L2 and this line makes alpha 2 angle with positive direction of x-axis. Now you have to find what is the angle between these two lines, theta, and if this is theta, this is also theta. So what will be this angle? It will be 180 minus theta. So we have to find what is theta, that is angle between two lines. So from the figure you can say that theta is equal to alpha 2 minus alpha 1, alpha 2 minus alpha 1. When you are applying tan on both sides, you will get tan theta is equal to tan alpha 2 minus alpha 1. And we know that what is tan x minus y? Tan x minus y is tan x minus tan y divided by 1 plus tan x into tan y, that you have already studied in trigonometry. So you can apply here tan theta is equal to tan alpha 2 minus tan alpha 1 divided by 1 plus tan alpha 2 into tan alpha 1. And what is alpha 1? What is tan alpha 1? Tan alpha 1 is the slope that L1 makes. That means here tan theta equal to tan alpha 1 is the slope of L1 and tan alpha 2 is the slope of M2. You can say it is M2 minus M1, because tan alpha 2 is M2, M2 minus M1 divided by 1 plus M1 into M2, or M2 into M1. But because multiplication is commutative, you can write M2 into M1 or M1 into M2. Now this is the angle theta. Then what about angle tan 180 minus theta? And we know that 180 means pi minus theta. Actually it is in the second quadrant. In second quadrant tan is negative, it is minus tan theta. This property also you studied in trigonometry, tan pi minus x. Pi minus x in second quadrant tan is negative, it is minus tan x. So it be, this is pi, this is like x, so we will get minus tan theta. And we know what is tan theta, you already got, so we will get minus of what? Minus of M2 minus M1 divided by 1 plus M1 into M2. So generally what you can say, what is the angle between two lines if their slope is known? Angle between two lines if slopes M1 and M2 are known. That is tan theta is equal to, you can write mod of, because we are getting the positive angle and the negative acute angle and obtuse angle, M2 minus M1 divided by 1 plus M1 into M2. That is the equation of finding angle between two lines if the slopes are given. This is an important equation. So I have derived how you can find angle between two lines if the slopes is given. Yes, we have a question. If the angle between two lines is pi by 4, the slope of one of the line is given is 1 by 2. You have to find the slope of the other line. So it is given that angle between the two lines is pi by 4. Pi by 4 means 45 degree, and slope of one line is, so what is given? Theta is given, theta is pi by 4, angle is given, and slope of one we can say it's m1. Line 1 slope is given, it is 1 by 2. You have to find what is the line slope of the second line, m2. And we have the equation we just studied, tan theta equal to mod of m2 minus m1 divided by 1 plus m1 into m2. And theta is pi by 4, we can substitute the value. Tan pi by 4 equal to m2 we don't know, but we know the m1, that is 1 by 2 divided by 1 plus m1, sorry, m1 is given, m1 is what? m1 is 1 by 2, and we have 1 by 2, and we have m2 we didn't know given. So for the solving tan pi by 4, what is the value of tan 45? It is 1. 1 equal to, when you cross multiply you will get mod of 2m2 minus m1 divided by 2, the whole divided by, here also you can cross multiply, you will get 2 plus 1 into m2 is m2 divided by 2. We can cancel this 2. You will get 1 equal to, you can write here 1 equal to mod of 2m2 minus m1 whole divided by 2 plus m2. Now, how can you avoid the modulus? When you avoiding the modulus, you will get a positive, or there will be two chances. Either we can have a positive value or negative value. So it will be a positive value, 1 equal to 2m2 minus m1 divided by 2 plus m2, or we can have a negative value 2m2 minus 1 divided by 2 plus m2, that is negative 1 equal to, these are the two cases. So when you cross multiply you get 2 plus m2 equal to 2m2 minus 1. So from here you can find 2m2 minus m2 is m2, and you will bring here minus 1 to here, then 2 plus 1 you will get m2 equal to 3. And when you solving this one you will get minus 2 minus m2 equal to 2m2 minus 1. From here you will get minus 2 plus 1 minus 1 equal to 3m2, that is m2 is equal to minus 1 by 3. So the second slope will be either 3 or minus 1 by 3. Fine. There will be two cases, because when you avoiding the mode, we can have two cases, one positive value and negative value. Yes. What is the find the slope of a line? Try to find the slope of a line which is passed through the origin and the midpoint of the line segment join the points P0 minus 4 and B80. So what is given? We have a line. We have to find the slope of this line. This line is passing through the origin, so we can mark one point is the origin 0, 0. And we have another line, and what is the condition? The midpoint of the line segment joining the points. So we have a line. They are not saying they are perpendicular or parallel. They are saying that which cuts the line, join the points, means this point is 0, minus 4, and we have this point is 8, 0. And question clearly says that this line will cut the midpoint of this line. You have to find the slope of this line. Suppose this is L1, this is L2. You have to find slope of the L1. Find the slope of L line which is passed through the origin. You have to find the slope of L1. To find the slope of L1, we need 2 points, 2 coordinates, but we have 1 coordinate. But here it is given this line is passing to the midpoint of this line. So we have midpoint formula. What is midpoint formula? We can apply 0 plus 8 divided by 2, and here it is minus 4 plus 0 divided by 2. So what will be this point? It will be 8 by 2, that is 4. It is minus 4 by 2, it is minus 2. Now you will get two coordinates. So what is the slope of line? Slope of line L1, that is m1 equal to, we can apply the equation y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, which is equal to minus 2 minus 0 divided by 4 minus 0. That is, you will get minus 2 divided by 4. When you further simplifying, you will get minus 1 by 2. So slope of this line is minus 1 by 2. And we have some questions called Pathsense questions. That is your understanding level questions. We have already discussed some topics. So question is based on that topics. You can answer, you can comment below the answers. Okay. You can have some questions. This is question number 1. In question number 1, we have 4 set questions. Some questions are repeating, no issue. You can answer this one. Okay. This is question number 3. Question number 4. And we have question number 5. So that's it. See you in next class. Thank you.